So what's the worst example, Tracey, of the misuse of data that you've ever observed, either in your own career or more broadly in the public domain? I have a sense that you might want to talk about the AllTrials campaign in this context.
Well, I do want to talk about the AllTrials campaign because it is global and it's an egregious misuse of data. The situation was, and until very recently, that around half of clinical trials are being published, and that's probably an overestimate. When we deep dived into some of the specific areas of clinical trials, it was worse than that. And that wasn't just companies that were not reporting the full trials. It was also academics who thought that their data was for themselves to be sat in a bottom drawer or left on a computer somewhere. And there's been a big culture change through the AllTrials campaign that has signed up tens of thousands of patients, doctors, researchers and others to change that and to ensure that regulations are enforced, that clinical trials should publish their results within a year. And we have seen a big change. But I think the reason why I say it's the most egregious is it's not just the case that we were not getting access to the data on the drugs we were using today. It's also that data is the baseline against which we judge new interventions. So if you're working in a company or you're academic researching and you come up with a compound that you think is going to make a contribution, that is immediately, whether or not you take that forward, is immediately compared with the drugs that exist already. Now, if the drug that exists already is understating the risk of a side effect like stroke, because all the trials aren't published on that, and we may not see the full risk, we might then think, well, our new drug has got nothing to add, right? But if we saw the true picture, that the medicines that we're prescribing today are elevating that risk, then we might see a benefit in the new compound and then take it forward to market. So we could have been missing out for years on innovations that would have been genuinely helpful in making maybe small incremental benefits, which are then big over a world population. So that's the reason why I pick that. It's not a one-off mistake. When you ruin the baseline, you ruin everything that comes after it. But I would also highlight AllTrials as a good use of data from our side, which is that one of the great innovations now is that we can scrape the data off of the regulatory databases and actually look at how everybody's performing and show them. So league tables is just one of the best ways to get people focused on their responsibilities, and we were able to sort of shine a light, but also back at the regulators, not just at those that should have been sharing their data, but back at the regulators to say, look, you think you're regulating this effectively and you're not. So that caused, that prompted a lot of action on their part. So it was a kind of good data story. Data was our friend in the campaign. People told us at the beginning we were overestimating the problem. They told us that we were exaggerating. Of course, all the regulators see everything they need to see. Nothing to see here. Move along. No need for a campaign. And then, of course, when we started scraping that data, we just let it tell the story. It really did tell the story.